All right, what's your guys' name starting with you, young lady?
Jasmine.
Crystal.
Kiwanda.
Kendra.
Rosie.
Jimmie.
All right, thanks for taking our time to come out to be a part of the X-Fat-Ass segment of weight loss and weight gain, like a motherfucker. All right, y'all. So one of the questions I want to ask you all to start this off is, how do you guys feel about the food choices in our community?
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Okay. How would you, you guys can pretty much, come in as you hear a pause, to piggyback off of it.
The food choices are absolutely horrible in our community. The reason being, majority of our communities have food deserts. Therefore, we don't have viable options for healthy living.
Okay.
Definitely new meaning to the word food desert. For me, I'm a native Californian, and even though I am a Californian, I still lived in the hood. So we had JJ's and and the sharks and all the other fish and fried chicken equivalents, but not to the degree that I have seen here. Just having a hard time finding vegetable choices has been really problematic.
Okay. How do you feel about that, Rose?
Well, if it's not as far as access, it's also the quality.
Yeah.
So me myself, I'm glad that I'm blessed to have a vehicle to get out and be accessible to get other quality choices outside of the neighborhood.
But why? But we shouldn't have to.
We
though.
should not have to. We should not have to.
But absolutely.
And for people who live in our community, which is so disheartening and so upsetting, is the mere fact they have to go to gas stations to get groceries.
Wow.
Imagine that, a gas station serving groceries because they don't have valuable options in our community. Like Rosie stated, I'm fortunate that I have a car that I'm able to move wherever I want to go to get food, but I shouldn't have to leave my community and my neighborhood to have quality food.
Where's the largest grocery store from here?
Yeah, that's a good.
But how far is that? Right? It's still
it's a distance. Yeah.
And if you don't have a car,
yeah.
And if the bus is not running, how are you getting there?
Right. Then you're hitting those little mom and pop markets like further, like I think 2 blocks down the way. There's a little mom and pop market.
There's 80% sugar in there.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They can't afford those.
So, question: why don't you think there's a nice amount of healthy food choices in our community? Do you think that it's corporate that's doing that on purpose for our kids to blow up like they are as far as sugar and weight gain, or do you think it's just a lack of investments from us in our own community?
Definitely by design. We live in a country that has been founded on institutionalized racism. So they're not concerned with us living past the time we were in slavery. They didn't think we would last this long, but we made it. But the difference now is we know what to eat and what not to eat. So they're not going to put quality food in our community unless we demand it. Because they would never do this in communities of Caucasian people. They would never do that because they won't stand for it. They won't allow it. We, for decades, for centuries, have allowed this treatment to keep going on. And definitely in the city of Chicago.
I also believe that it's designed. Like in our community, we have the JJ's, we have the Baba's, we have the Mr. Submarines, but they put those restaurants in communities where the minority is low. So, it's not a lot of liquid cash. It's not a lot of cash. So if I got 5 kids to feed, okay, well, it's cheaper for her to buy 2 pizza puffs, a burger and a fry, and a hot dog with French fries, as opposed to you go downtown, you have the Whole Foods, you have the Trader Joe's. So I think it's about minority and where there's no diversity. Honestly,
And it used to be a point in time that we had fresh grocery stores in our communities. Our parents would tell you when they were coming up in the city of Chicago, on the south side, the west side, you had grocery stores. They were mom and pop, they were black owned, and they were concerned about us being healthy. The difference is when we start leaving our community and don't come back to support the community and left the people that are still here without viable options.
Also, the quality of food has changed. Period. You got GMOs. Almost everything you eat now is GMOs or processed.
Yeah.
You can't even find a chicken breast that hasn't been processed. You can't find even lettuce processed. You can't find any of that. So the options that we have are short. So when you go to grocery stores, regular grocery stores like a Food for Less, the food in there is different from the Whole Foods. You get organic foods from Whole Foods. There's not many organic foods in the regular grocery store chains. And most of the grocery store chains are in the hood, where we live at, where we're from. So we inhale that, we ingest all of that, and expect to have a different result, and wonder why obesity in the black community is more so than the white community, because their options are better, and then they're putting better quality food into their stores than ours.
Kiwanda, question for you. How do you feel about us in our age group right now versus the young folks? It seems like we're more healthier than the kids are now.
I totally agree. I feel like convenience, lack of the time itself to me has changed. Like, we would actually spend the time, and pretty much Rosie has spoke on her family like having a garden. Like, you think about that, so they grew their own vegetables, and then you look at our generation where we started out, kicked off in that boat with, okay, well, the gyro is good, or the Italian beef is good, until you do better when you know better. So now our generation, our children, convenience, everybody's want to go. So it's no time. It's no time to even consider the thought of growing a garden. Or, well, Mom, let's try this. Or, Dad, let's try this. It's, well, I got to run. I got to be here at this time. Or, my show come on at 8 o'clock, so I'm going to stop here and pick this up. So I think it's about times some change. It's convenience. They have made it to where you don't have to go far to get the garbage. So, again, I'll stand on convenience, and lack of convenience.
Jazz, question for you. How do you feel about the gyms now? This is $1 billion industry now. I mean, when you look around now, they got a weight loss challenge for everything. I mean, supplements. I mean, I recall my father working at the steel mill back in the day, and he was naturally built just off going to work, and he was eating the canned goods, the potty meat and tuna and stuff like that. But now we're powder this and pills that and looking for that quick fix. How do you feel about where we at right now with the gym industry right now?
So I'm going to say this: quick fixes, major negative. Not gonna happen, not gonna work. As far as gym memberships and things like that, we all have membership. We all have had membership. Do we go? Let's be honest. We have them taking money out of our accounts monthly, but do we go? I mean, so it's, with me personally, you have that mindset like, I want to get in the gym, I want to change. You have that New Year's resolution, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But then as the year goes on, you find yourself lacking. You find yourself not going like you want to, maybe because you're working late, it's so much going on, you have a lot of things going on, and you just wasting your money with these gym memberships. I honestly feel that with that, you have to have a love for what you do. You have to have that want. You have to have your mind made up. This is what I'm going to do. This is what it takes for me to do that, and I'm going to stand on it, and I'm going to do it. Don't have it in your head like, oh, it's a membership, so I'm going to go when I want, because if you do that, you're not going to see any results, and basically you're not going to see results on those quick fixes, on those powders, on those pills. It's just not going to work. What is going to work, though, is your mindset saying, okay, this is what I need to do, and I'm going to do it at all costs. I'm going to put in that hard work, because that's the way it's going to last.
Thanks. That's dope. Crystal, you work with children, am I correct?
Yes.
What do you think the future looks like as far as how the food choices is, and because you work in the school system, right?
Yes, I work in the school system. I'm a district representative for the Office of Diverse Learning Services and Supports for Chicago Public Schools.
Okay, you said that. Yeah, well, all right. Right. Oh, well, are you hiring? Goddamn. Feel like, Crystal, look. Right. Diverse children's, economical, physical, and social development.
With that long title, I have 25 schools that I monitor. So I'm constantly in school buildings. One of the best things that ever happened was Michelle Obama's program for healthy foods within the schools. Now with our current president, they didn't got rid of all of that good stuff that she had going. But the reason why her Let's Move campaign was so great is because it got children to start eating healthier options during lunch. From getting the free fruit to getting the free vegetables once a week. They still do part of that program, and Jasmine knows this because she's in the school, that they give fresh fruits and fresh vegetables once a week for students to try different, healthier options. If we do not expose children to eating different, to trying new things, and to want to get them on a healthier lifestyle, it's going downhill. Because as Kendra stated, children are not active the way they used to be when we were growing up, definitely when our parents were growing up. It's not like that anymore. So if we're not giving them viable options for them to have to be able to sustain themselves, it's going to be even worse. You see girls right now that are 12 years old that are 300 pounds. You know, that they can't move, that they can't function, that they don't know what it is to be healthier. And if they're not eating the proper foods, and as the gentleman stated, if we're constantly giving them food that have GMOs and fillers and additives, that means all that's doing is packing on more weight. So we really need to work with our children to make sure that they're eating healthier foods. The schools can't do it alone. We have to incorporate that in our daily lives at home. You know, not to take away from what Jasmine said, it was excellent, but you have to invest in yourself the same way you do a bank account. If you don't put anything in, you're not going to get anything out.
Facts. Make a health deposit. Gotta make a health deposit.
Like Jasmine said, I think we've all been a member of one or two or three or four of those gyms at some point in our fitness journey, and they are having come into a smaller situation now. I can definitely appreciate a smaller gym or a smaller studio like this. There were times where I would literally be in the parking lot outside of a big box gym and would be in tears at the thought of going inside. And I don't know what that was necessarily. Just, I think it's impersonal. Sometimes it's intimidating because you got, you know, Becky over here in her little two-piece and she's sprinting real hard on the treadmill next to you and you feel like you're being judged, but she's looking at your ex-fat ass next to her on the treadmill. Or you got the muscle necks and they slamming weights on the ground and you don't feel like you can go over there because it's looking like prison yard and, you know, time out and all of that. You don't want to go and try to lift a little weight because all you want to do, man, I just want to get my biceps on. Could you leave me alone today? I don't want you to hit on me. I don't want you to solicit me for your training activity and all of that. So for those reasons why I ran away from the big box gym.
And another thing, big box gyms do not provide the proper support in community.
Yeah.
In community. I get to see all of these beautiful people every time I come to this beautiful establishment, and I know them. They ask me, how are you today? If I'm not feeling motivated, if I'm not feeling my best, they're here to give me the support that I need to push me further. Just that common touch of community and family is so important. And you do not get that in big box gyms. You only get that in a community atmosphere. You know, and then when we have a fearless leader like Jimmie, who really want us to go hard and push ourselves, it makes it even more easier. Because never have I ever felt coming to X-Fat Ass that I couldn't do anything, because I got to move at my own pace when I started. And when I started making those gains to go further, Jimmie is right there along saying, you got this, sis, you can do it, I'm pushing you, I believe in you, you can make it. And not only do we get that from him, we get that from everybody that's a part of the X-Fat Ass family.
Capitalism most definitely is at height right now. It is. I mean, greed. You know, I remember when I first started off, I know I was over 340. I know it, but the guys, the trainers, never been fat before.
Right.
So they don't know.
They don't know.
You know, and they give you that first one time for free to see if you have a spiritual connection with the person, you know, and they want $150 for 4 sessions. And I'm sitting up there like, well, I just started yesterday. My finances ain't all that, you know what I'm saying? And you're saying push. Dude, you come in there with 6-pack abs. I want to have the body that you have, but I can't produce that as quick. You've probably been, in the Army and worked out your whole life. I'm fat. I ate my whole life. You know what I'm saying? So I need to take my time. Jimmie, question for you. What was the most you weighed?
Most I weighed was 290.
What do you think you lost yourself at as far as fitness, your weight gain, and everything?
I lost myself last year when I was sitting in the house and I was with my kids and I was running around with my son. I found myself hard to get up the stairs and I was like, man, I gotta jump in this gym. So I got a big box membership. I still have it. But I go occasionally. I don't go all the time. Somehow, I don't go all the time, but it came a point when I took control of my eating habits first. When I took control of that, that's when I started to feel better, started to do better. And I was like, man, I went about a month with no fats, no fried foods, no sugars, no none of that. And once I did that, my body started to change. I started to have more energy. Even at work, I started to work better. I'm going up 2 flights of stairs carrying hospital beds. And I'm like, man, I ain't tired no more. Okay, I hit the gym. I was in class with Mr. X fat ass over here. and came in there fat. And then he opened up this studio, and I'll tell you, this studio is the greatest thing that he could have ever done. And he told me he was doing it. I said, I'm coming. Man, I dropped so many pounds so fast. Just this year alone, I dropped 30 pounds off the top.
What was the most you ever weighed, Rose?
The most I ever weighed was 322. After I had my son in 2010, 322.
Okay. So do you think that it was just from the pregnancy or pretty much life itself?
I was plus size my whole life.
Well, you look great now, girl. Hold on. You lost 10 pounds. You look great, girl.
I needed 10.
Right, 10 times 20. Okay, go ahead. Finish up what you were saying.
Yeah, I've been plus size my whole life. After I had my son, I was like, Lord, this is going to have to change. I'm like the gentleman back here. I'm sorry. That was a reality check. Chasing after him. Boys had energy for days. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, this is not going to work. I had to catch him because he's super active. He was about to fall down the stairs. Now, I've always been an athlete. I played softball, basketball, ACLs to prove it, ACL repairs to prove it. He almost fell, and just me reaching out, trying to catch him as he fell, going down the stairs, I almost hurt my own self. And I'm like, I got to do something different. And not only that, my daughter is plus size. So they look to me. I'm the head of my household. They look to me and I say, I have to do something different to show them something different. Along with, I cook meals, dinner every day, every night, but you have to do something different. You got to get active. My daughter didn't see me playing basketball, My son didn't see me playing basketball. They didn't see me, when I used to walk from my grandmother's house on 65th down to the low end on 39th Street. They don't know how active I was, but now I have to move forward. So moving forward, I had to start with, of course, diet, eating the right foods. Secondly, being more active, getting out. My son, he plays baseball, he bowls, and he swims. So I'm naturally a swimmer, Aquarius, water bearer. Right now I box. Also, my greatest passion is cycling. Thank you, Mr. Jimmie. I talk about it like I'm selling it to people, especially my coworkers. I'm like, hey, you've been losing a lot of weight. What you all you been doing, yeah, cycling and eating well.
That's right.
So, I mean, just the heaviest. Yeah, and then also another thing, I just went to the doctor's office and it was like, hey, your blood pressure, every time you come, the blood pressure's kind of high. And I'm like, it's always high. It's like, no, we're going to give you some medication. No, you're not going to medicate me. That's what you will not do. You will not medicate me. Because once you get on blood pressure medicine, it's designed to keep you there.
Right.
And that's dealing with diabetic medicine, all the above. No, and it's high blood pressure runs in my family on my mom's side. No, I don't want, you can keep that. I don't want those genes. I don't want those genes.
You did a great job. You did a great job. This was a phenomenal testimony. Kendra. Go ahead, girl. It's good. What was the most you ever weighed?
250. And that was as recently as last year.
Wow. Good job. So what, as far as your, were you always a BBW? Or did you just, did you lose yourself up in life, or what happened with you?
Actually, I was not really big as a young child, but probably about 10, sometime between 10 and 12, I started to pack on. My mother has always been health conscious, and she would always make us well-rounded, nutritious meals, but I spent a lot of time with my grandmother, and there was always cakes and cookies and pies going on, and we're talking about the 80s and early 90s, so I had one of those aunties get out there in the world, and needless to say, she would come in after midnight off one of her binges, and we were frying chicken and potatoes and all of that, and I was right there in the thick of it eating it, and my mother always said I couldn't control it. So that, and just life packed on, and as of last year, the heaviest I had been, and started noticing that I was feeling winded and tired and cranky, and had developed sleep apnea, and I didn't want to be that way. And I always was somewhat athletic. I stayed, in the big box gyms. I swam, I boxed, I did all of that stuff too, because my father became diabetic at 43. So it was always kind of in the back of my mind. But every year I would go for my physical, and the doctor would say, oh, but you don't look like it. You 165, oh, but you don't look like it. 175, oh, but you don't look like it. Now it's 210, oh, but you don't look like it. And I wasn't pre-diabetic, I wasn't diabetic, I never had high blood pressure, none of that. But then it was like, oh shit, I'm 250 now, and my knees starting to hurt. So I finally said, all right. Again, I'd have my cycles. I would go up and down.
It's a fight.
It's definitely a fight.
Yeah.
It's definitely a fight.
Yeah. The biggest addiction right now, of course, the number one addiction is attention. But sugar and salt.
Definitely.
It's crazy.
And sugar is definitely my downfall.
How much are you? I'm sorry, what? Yours too?
Am I kryptonite too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, me too.
I mean, we standing at the kitchen counter eating rings of Oreos and stuff, like that kind of stuff. But I stopped, thank God. I will eat something every now and again, but I'm not baking every weekend or every other weekend. I'm not buying packs of cookies. I'm not, at the fried chicken shack, not every weekend.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
If you don't buy it, you can't.
Right. I live alone, so it's only me. I'm responsible for me. So, yeah.
How much are you down year to date?
I am down 45.
Oh, man.
That's
great.
The 40-45, depending on what day.
Right up
what day you catch me. Right, exactly. Fuck this deal. Right. No, not at all.
It's not. Kiwanda.
Yes.
What's the most you ever weighed?
280 pounds.
Okay, and how tall are you?
Short. Short.
Right.
5 feet exactly.
Okay.
Exactly 5 feet.
Okay.
So, my prosthetics, as I call them, because it takes a lot to kind of hold up all the meat. It was tough. the shorter you are, the more compact you are. It's hard, even short arms, short legs, your torso is short.
CeeLo Green.
Pretty much. You know, just honestly not even getting off into chasing the babies or even having another kid and you're overweight. Getting myself to even get up, to sit down, you know, just to lug all of it. It's heavy and it's hard. So thankfully I didn't have any health issues. The only issue that I had at the time is not looking at me like, oh, like, you're not that big. That shirt still fits. You know what I'm saying? So until you get to, okay, well, yeah, I can't wear them shoes no more because they hurt my pinky toe. Right. Or my knees start hurting. Or you know what them boots hurt the back of my legs. So, you know, it's small signs, but because we can still fit that shirt, because that dress fit the same. Or, you know, they don't tell us about this new spank. So, you know, I look like, you know, so all of those things pretty much, you get tired. And then the quick fixes, they don't work. And then you go to the big box gyms and it's no support, it's no structure. So, and then it's boring.
Very extreme.
So, pretty much for me, the heavier I got, the shorter I started to get. So, you know, the face gets big. You can't see my ears anymore. So it was time. It was time. It was time.
How much weight are you down here today?
Today, I'm down 56 pounds.
That's what's up. Great testimony. Crystal, yeah.
Hey, y'all.
What was your biggest?
My heaviest weight was 214.4, and I'm giving that 0.4 for a reason.
Right, I like it. You gotta be precise.
214.4. My journey began with me having surgery. Like, I was small my entire life. I was a preemie at birth. I was always underweight growing up. So in high school, I was small. College, I put on that 15 pound, but I maintained like a size of an 8, between an 8 and a 10, even when I was in college. I lost weight in 2011. Not healthily, not the best way. Lost it quick. I was seeing a weight loss doctor who put me on pills and was like, hey, take this, it'll help you lose. Yeah, I lost 57 pounds, but in 2015, I had to have torn rotator cuff surgery. I couldn't use my arm for a year. I was immobile for 8 weeks, meaning I could not move. I had to have somebody to bathe me, somebody to dress me, somebody to get me ready, just to be able to take me to physical therapy after that 8 weeks. I wound up having to have 2 procedures because my shoulder froze and I had to have a manipulation as well. So it took me over a year and a half to heal, to be able to use my arm. So guess what happened during that time? I couldn't see the weight loss doctor no more. He couldn't give me those fancy pills for me to maintain that 57 pounds that I lost. So what happened, not only did I put on that weight, I put on more. Last year for my 42nd birthday, I was looking at different pictures of myself. Now, I was happy in my fat size. You couldn't tell me I wasn't cute. You couldn't tell me I wasn't in shape.
That's right,
because
girl.
like everybody else, I was also athletic, even though, you know, I had put on weight. Like, I would work out sometimes. I would go to the gym barely, but I would do something, you know. So I looked at these pictures from my birthday, which was August 10th, and I was like, I didn't recognize myself. That September, I decided to make a change. During that time, I was talking with my honey, and I was like, well, I'm going to try to lose weight again. Let me go out there and see the fat doctor. Before that September, I went to the fat doctor, got the good pill, took it, and my heart palpitated. And that was God's way of saying, if you're going to lose this weight, you need to do it with nothing. So I'm a true component of, if you're going to do it, you can't take nothing Nothing, because it's not going to help you in the long run. It's just a quick fix for an eating. You have to work at it every day. So September 15th of 2018, the exact day I made that change, and as of today, I have lost 63 pounds. But it is a struggle. I still like food. I'm an ex-fat ass, but I still got fat ass tendencies. So
We did some bad shit last night.
And start this video off.
Definitely.
So that means I still enjoy food every now and again. But I say, Jimmie has a saying, which I truly believe, and I have adopted it, that I give it to other people. You cannot outwork a bad diet.
Yeah.
That's his number one saying, and it is so true. You cannot outwork a bad diet. You gotta eat right to be able to make these successes happen. And it's gonna be times you may gain a little, lose a little. It is a struggle, but the goal is to keep striving. Do not give up. Do not give up. One of the reason why I wanted to lose weight was two reasons. I lost a baby before, and I wanted to be able to get pregnant again. And I was told because of the weight that I had that it would be a hard time to get pregnant again. That was the first thing. The second thing is I went on a cruise, and my snoring was so bad that my honey couldn't even stay in a room with me. He had to sleep on the deck because it was so loud that he couldn't even be next to me because of the severe sleep apnea. I had a sleep study done, and I didn't just have a mild case. I had a severe case that when my heart would stop in the middle of the night.
Hold on, I got a question for you. As far as your sleep apnea, was it that you, because I had sleep apnea at one point. Sleep apnea, can you pronounce the word again?
Apnea.
Okay. Now the way I would snore was, and I would stop for a certain amount of seconds.
Stop breathing. You stop breathing.
And we're like, hey.
Hey, you still here? Yeah.
When you stop breathing, that means your heart stops.
Man.
And whoever I was laying next to at the time, you know. I mean, it was. That's why I made the noise, because it was like I remember waking up when I was making the noise, and I was like, "Wow, it's crazy, right?" So,
and it was so bad to the point that I could not go anywhere without sleeping with that mask. Meaning, if I took a trip, I had to have that mask. If I went out of the country, I had to have that mask. And my goal, starting in that September, was I don't want to wear this damn mask anymore. I'm sick of this mask. I'm sick of this thing.
Because it's not cute.
It's not cute.
And I still wear mine.
And it's not comfortable. It's not fun. And I was like, look, I got to get this thing off of me. And that was my focus, and that was my goal. And the irony is now I'm not sleeping with the mask anymore, but I still find myself not having the best patterns of rest because of so many times that I had to wear that. So I still struggle with that, and I'm happy to say and report I don't have apnea anymore, meaning I'm not waking up in the middle of the night. I can sleep all the way through. So it's very important to, when you do lose weight, to maintain that lifestyle. That's the struggle.
Yeah.
That's the struggle with all of us. Like every last one of us, we have lost, but we are here with our ex-fat ass fam. Why do I say ex-fat ass? Because I'm a fit ass now. But I'm a fit ass now. That's why it's so important that we have that proper community, because we can lean on each other during those times.
This is the longest I've ever maintained.
Me too.
The community definitely.
Yeah. Me too. That I go to consistently.
support is everything.
Yes.
Right. And
Motivation.
Absolutely. Yes.
And I always tell everybody, you know, starting off your weight journey, I believe that, especially in my situation, headphones and adult playlists was my best friend. Yeah. Because everybody, all my friends was fat. You know what I'm saying? And especially me, I was paying for a lot of people to eat. So they're not going to tell you, dude, you're fat. You know what I'm saying? Because if I get on that journey, now the tab is not going to be paid for free anymore. You see what I'm saying? So starting this journey off and doing it by yourself at first is cool. And anybody that comes along with you, that's a bonus. But using friends and family as a crutch to start off, as soon as they schedule change, they can't. You start gaining weight again. It's crazy. Started off yourself, you know what I'm saying? Jack, what's the most you done weighed?
The most I've weighed was 231 last year, January 9th. My weight came from, during that time my mother was ill. During that time I fell into a depression. It was the worst time I've ever experienced in my life. I've never been that heavy before. I was in and out of the hospital visiting my mom, so I wasn't at home cooking. I was stopping at restaurants, getting food, coming in the house late from visiting, and it's just, the weight just came on. This started back in November. So from November to January, I gained like 70 pounds, literally. After that, around January 9th, I weighed myself. I was 231. It started off as a competition at work where we was doing the Biggest Loser. And my boss came up with this competition, so I'm like, okay, sure, why not? I was gonna do it anyway, lose the weight anyway, but since she proposed this competition, I'm like, okay, cool, I'll do it. So everyone had to weigh themselves, so that was the first time I weighed myself. Even when I went to the doctor, but I'm like, you ain't gotta tell me, don't tell me how much. I just didn't know, because I knew I had gained the weight. So I was 231. After that, I started off, for that first week trying to take care of myself and things like that, but I fell right back into it with the eating because I was just not myself at all. Seeing my mother in the condition that she was in, it was just horrible. I ran to food. That was my outlet. It was terrible. It wasn't until then I had went to the hospital for that last time, and I was listening to the doctor tell me things about my mom as far as her health. High blood pressure, my mother suffered with swollen legs, swollen feet, COPD, and all of that. I did not want that for myself. I found myself starting to pick up those breathing, like not being able to breathe properly. I went to the doctor told me, and I've never even mentioned this to anyone, but my doctor told me that I was borderline going to be diabetic because of the consumption, the food that I was consuming. I was not taking care of myself. I lost myself. I didn't care. I was just like, for what? My mother, this is my life, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, for what? So I just let myself go. When I heard the doctor tell my mother that, I was saying, my mother wouldn't want that for me. So I need to put a hold on it and get myself together. Literally, that next day, I woke up and I cut it out cold turkey. Cold turkey. I didn't, say I'll start next week, I'll start next month. No. I literally went in my kitchen. I grabbed a big garbage bag. I threw cookies away, pops, juices, chips, flour, oil. I threw it all in the garbage, and I went to the store and started off fresh with more healthier options. After that, I started eating right, started eating healthy, changing everything like that. I lost 35 pounds within 2 months, I believe. That was before I even started working out. After that 2 months, I had noticed that I was at a plateau. Like, I just stopped losing the weight. But I knew I wanted to lose more weight to get down to my desired size. So one day I was scrolling through Facebook, as I always do, scrolling through Facebook. My phone is literally like but I was scrolling through Facebook, and I ran across my bro, Jimmie. There was a mutual friend on Facebook. She was here for his grand opening. So she was like recording the class. I'm like, man, that class looked fun, amazing. I had the membership at the big box gym, and it was just like nothing like what I seen on Facebook with this grand opening. So I'm like, I want to try it out. So I reached out to Jimmie and I was like, what's going on? Where are you located? When do class start? I'm ready to come in. I'm ready to work. I just want to lose the rest of this weight. So he was very nice, very personable, very funny, just amazing guy. And he told me about the class and when to come in and things like that. And I came in that first week of him opening, and I have been here ever since. It has been amazing, the best decision of my entire life. I would tell this to anybody, and I have told it to anybody, if you really want to do this, come here. You will leave out change. So I'm very grateful to have ran across this amazing class, this amazing family that has became family, friends, and everything else, and I'm grateful.
And wait, did you tell us what your current weight is?
Yes. So I lost a total of 100 pounds. Mind you, no pills, no fast, no fixes, none of that. No quick fixes, none of that. All natural, all hard work. Yes. Let me say it again. Hard work. So yeah.
There you go. That's what's up, man. I'm so proud of y'all. I got two more questions and that's it. Did you all have to deal with that? Is when you knew you were unhealthy, but you know the man in your life or the support of your life was like, "Oh, you good? Stay like that." You know, things of that sort. You can start off. You want to start off?
Well, yes and no. The yes is because it's like. Having a husband, he want to support what it is you choose to do, what it is you want to do. But then it's, what time is your class? Maybe it's at 6 o'clock. Oh, okay, so we ain't going to get there until like 8:15. So for me, he was supportive. It was just the time. It was, oh yeah, but I'm going 4 days a week though. So I'm going to freeze it and then I'm going to microwave it. So the support was there. It was more so, you going again today?
Yeah.
And then, Saturday is like, I'm going to be back. As soon as you get up, I'm going to be back. I got breakfast, I got it. On Saturdays is open. So, I feel like the support was there, but because he hasn't been yet to see the excitement, to see the family feel, to see why it's so addictive. He don't understand. But then it's like, new drugs, huh? So he supports, but I feel like it comes in different ways, different forms. He like that dress, but he ain't want to eat dinner with. Or he like that new side, but he ain't want his breakfast an hour later on Saturday. So, supportive, but
Right, we want to.
Y'all know how they be.
Rose, you said, what was your situation?
I'm saying, see what I'm saying? This, of course, I got multiple suitors now. I started this journey. I had just came out of a relationship. I got a phone call, hey, it's not what I want to do anymore. That's fine. We've been rocking going like the last 20 years on and off. So fast forward, sister gathered together and his best friend saw me. And I was like, hey, how you doing? He was like, I don't know you. I see what you do. We done had breakfast together, dinner, we done went out of town together, football games. You know me. He was like, and he looking, I said, just look at my face. And he was like, you look like Rosie. I said, sir, I am Rosie.
Yeah.
So it was like this. Yeah. I said, you go take care of that. Because I'm sure that was the next phone call. Have you seen her?
Of course it was.
That's fine. I'm good with that. So, yeah, like I said, I'm single now. So, when I guess, and I'm going to say the lady's probably going to attest to it, when you at 40 years old, you want to say, hey, I got options. And everything is going to be on my time. So that's me. But taking care of myself and my family is my number one priority. Yeah.
Right.
Well done.
There you go. All right, just pull the mic closer to the yeah. All right, move it to that way a little bit more. No, just move it over. Because the thing is, she's being blocked.
Okay, you want her to let me know.
Right, yeah. Now turn the mic a little bit to the left. Right there, yeah. No, that's fine, because the thing is, because I'm changing the lighting to match her sweater so that the mic doesn't shine and block her out. Yeah. Otherwise, but don't do that. That's what I'm trying to prevent. You hiding behind the mic, that's what I don't.
I'm gonna call you back. Yeah.
It's very big.
Let me know when you're ready.
All right, you ready?
All right, y'all. Take 92. We actually ain't been doing bad. All right. So, Kendra, you wanted to continue on and piggyback off the question.
Yeah, the question about like the big box gym.
Jazz. No, look, Jazz. Look, Jazz. Jazz got a hat together. You know what I'm saying? You know, she got her little foot lifter when she doing I have mentioned that before, but I was like, welcome to America's slums with the guests. We get a siren one time. Pulling up somebody. Right. And that's a nigga chasing to finish the body off. I'm gonna make sure that nigga did.
It was a good answer too, and I'm like, damn, I was so hoping like maybe they'll turn it off. I'm like, damn, now I gotta start all over again. Okay,
I'm gonna work hard on Sundays. No, let's go. We can do good with that. Rosie, what's the most? Bro, you back? Rosie's like, what shit? I'm trying to drip it outside. I'm scared the shit out of her. Them motherfucking braces for shit. Come on back here, Rose. Even the bloopers.
The ones from the last interview are hilarious, especially when he took the gun from somebody. He was like, if you don't stop tuning up, no, you. All you hear is him in the background, his feet stomping. He grabbed something because I didn't get that part on camera. He's like, you don't speak that shit. I watched that at least 50 times last week. It was hilarious.
Oh, Eddie going back laughing at our shit like this. Yeah, right now. All right. So, Rose, what was the most?
Sorry.
Rose.
Throw it. That was You run it out. Let me throw the answer this. What's the most you weighed, Jazz?
So the most I weighed was 231. That was last year, January 9th.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna need you to do it again because when you're
Okay.
rocking back and forth,
Okay.
I lose focus on you. Okay.
Yeah, don't be Right.
Okay. Now I got you in focus. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead and say it again.
So we got it. We're in the library. We got to speak up loud.
You gotta speak up because like cars going by, stuff
Okay.
like that. You gotta resonate your voice.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not. I mean, like I said, it's not Tyler Perry setup. It's the 80s setup. So you gotta speak louder so I can make sure that the recording gets everything. Like I can put some little tricks in here, but you know, you still gotta be able to, you know, talk like how assertive I'm a little assertive when I talk. So you gotta talk loud.
Yeah. Basically,
Hey, be quiet.
Okay.
and I
I'm
don't.
not in the library, so you gotta resonate your voice so I can get all the recording. Because all of this is good information to have and to be able to be used for the interview. It's just at this point, ain't nobody gonna hear you, they just will.
Okay. All right.
You're stupid, right? Kendra, you be mad at your dog voice, okay, and the rest of us kids, right? Kids, right? Sit your ass down.
Does he need to ask the question again?
No. It's, the thing is, it's like I can adjust volume.
Okay.
It's just that if y'all continue to talk like that during the whole thing,
No, we won't.
then it's gonna have like that echoing sound,
I got you.
and then it'll be like, well, I see the mic on the screen, but did y'all use it?
Okay.
So that's the whole thing about it. Like,
Is it on?
Yeah, you gonna edit it? Yeah. Right. You stupid. Right. You stupid. All right. So, question. Men lose weight quicker.
It's so damn Dribble basketball.
All right.
Right.
So, throughout you all journey, if you're married, if you were married at that time, you had a boyfriend, things of that sort, how supportive were men in your life? Because, you know, men, we say, you thick, girl, you good like you are.
Good.
Look at me right there like, hey, I'm going to marry her. We heard it all. You good, just like that, baby. Wait, Levi, man, good.